breaking news. Teams are starting to call the 49ers about a potential Trey Lance trade, according to the NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. Here's what he tweeted a few minutes ago. The 49ers have received inquiries from several teams looking into a potential trade for former number 3 pick Trey Lance. The conversations have been the result of SF fielding the calls, not making them, with teams aware that Brock Purdy is likely the future starter. Okay, let's try to parse this a little bit. He says multiple sources, but he doesn't mention any teams. He says multiple teams have contacted the 49ers, but he doesn't say who they are. I'm guessing if he heard this from one of those teams, he would have mentioned that team. I'm guessing he heard this from the 49ers. Why would it be in their, I'm guessing, why would it be in their interest for them to tell this to Ian Rappaport? Well, I think they probably want to trade Trey Lance. They said that Brock Purdy is their future. You heard how adamant John Lynch was about that. They're not going to change their mind because Brock Purdy said one thing in an interview last week. They want Brock Purdy to be the starter. They believe that he's going to be 100% fine, and they're open to trading Trey Lance. I asked John Lynch that. He said, we're fine with him on the team right now, but anyone could get traded at any time. So I think it's important for them to phrase it that they're not calling teams, they're fielding calls. Because if they're calling teams, that makes it seem like they're desperate to move this guy, and boy, he must stink, and he must be available for nothing. But they're making it seem like, oh, market's heating up, multiple teams want him, but the offers haven't been good enough yet. I mean, that's the ultimate implication, right? Keep calling. He's open. We're open for business. He's available. Offers haven't been good enough yet. Keep calling. So let's talk about it. Who do you think is calling the 49ers about Trey Lance? Best guesses. Strictly guesses. I'm guessing Tampa, Tennessee, Minnesota's been linked to him. I mean, he's from out there. And Detroit. How about those 4 teams? I'm guessing 2 or 3 of those teams have called the 49ers, which makes sense. I mean, those are teams that sort of do similar things what the Niners do offensively and, don't necessarily have to play Trey Lance right away. But for this report to come out, again, it indicates that the Niners aren't really happy with the offers they've received for Trey Lance yet. So what do you think they're getting? I mean, they said the report was that they wanted a 2nd and a 4th for Trey Lance. I said last week they're not getting a 2nd-round pick this year in this draft for Trey Lance, coming off 3 years on ice. The way they could do it is get a 4th this year, take the 2nd next year, although, again, you're probably not even getting a 2nd next year. It's more like a conditional pick that could become a 2nd-round pick if Trey Lance plays and stays healthy and hits certain benchmarks. But if you trade him to Minnesota, is he going to play next year? So what's the point of getting a comp pick back from, say, Minnesota or Detroit or Tennessee if the plan is to sit Trey Lance for one more year behind a veteran so he can learn their system? Then comp pick does nothing for you. So there's no guarantee the Niners actually trade Trey Lance. They have a history of sort of making it known they would trade a guy, Jimmy Garoppolo, Deebo Samuel, but then setting the price way too high, unrealistically high, and, burning the bridge in the process. Maybe not burning the bridge, but making it really awkward, not trading the guy, bringing him back, having a weird, awkward season. Could happen. Or the Niners could trade Trey Lance on freaking draft night. But again, I'd be surprised if it netted him a 1st-round pick or a 2nd-round pick. Maybe I'm reading the situation way wrong. But 5 starts in 3 years for Trey Lance, horribly mismanaged first 2 seasons of his career by the 49ers, and they're just going to all of a sudden wash their hands of him and get a 2nd-round pick or a 1st-round pick on the way out. I doubt it. I mean, if they could have, I think they would have already. Again, I think this is the 49ers saying, hey, teams that called us, thank you for calling us about Trey. We're interested, but call again because we would like a little bit more. And I don't know, is that why those videos came out last week of Trey Lance throwing? Are the Niners trying to create some trade value here? Hey, look, he's healthy. Look, he's throwing a spiral. Look, his mechanics are different, even though they're the same. I don't know, but it makes you wonder, right? Trey Lance available. Niners fielding calls, not making them, according to Ian Rappaport. Ooh, because they like him so much, right? They're not eager to get him off the team. It's just so many teams are calling him. I love how the Niners massage the narrative, right? It's always making them look like They're in the catbird seat. What is the catbird seat? Look it up. Anyway, I still don't think they're going to trade him. I don't think they're going to get the offer they want. If they ultimately trade him, I think it's going to be for a low offer that's going to make them look bad. They still don't know about Brock Purdy. He just said he doesn't know if he's going to play this year. Feels like bluster. But at the same time, I don't know. The Niners might just make a terrible decision and trade this guy for a third-round pick. Is it a terrible decision? I mean, not necessarily a terrible decision, but a risky decision in the sense that if he turns out to be good, everyone's fired. If he turns out to be bad, hey, at least you got a third-round pick, which you could use on the next Trey Sermon. I don't know. The next Danny Gray. The next Ambry Thomas. That's what you could get. I look terrible right now. Can you tell that I just woke up? I woke up. It was like 6:15 in the morning, and there's a report that the Niners are fielding calls on Trey Lance. I didn't even get a chance to take a shower. Wash my face. I did wash my face. Got a little coffee. But I figured, don't take a shower. The people need to hear what you think about this. Get in front of the camera right now with those crusty eyes. They're a little crusty. I tried to wash my face. I did wash my face, but you can see with my hair, I got like these cowlicks in the back. Not looking good. But looking better than Trey Lance's hair. I'm sorry, Trey. You brought it on yourself with that haircut. I don't know what that is. I don't know if I bet the Niners offers for Trey Lance would increase by at least one round if he cut his hair. You're the face of the franchise, Trey. You can't be looking like that. I'm sorry. Now I'm talking about Trey Lance's hair. Honestly, I hope Trey Lance gets traded because the Niners have made it clear that they're not invested in him. And a guy like him, any player should be able to go to a team that's invested in him. So if that's Minnesota, Detroit, I wish him all the best. I do. It's really clear that the Niners have moved on. I think it's a little foolhardy and quick, but they keep making the same mistakes. They keep falling in and out of love way too fast. Brock Purdy will be the next victim of this. I mean, he might already be. The way Kyle Shanahan talks about Sam Darnold, the way all these national insiders say don't be surprised if Sam Darnold starts week 1. It already feels like Kyle Shanahan has a new quarterback crush. Sam, if you're watching this, don't be flattered. Kyle goes through these crushes really quick. He might like you today, but after the first I'm not even going to say bad game you have. The first bad practice you have, he's done with you. And he'll be looking to and the first good game you have, he won't praise you for it. It'll be him. He's the reason that you played well. You're the reason that you played bad. That's how it works in Santa Clara. And you're only the apple of his eye until he drafts another quarterback. So I love this quarterback carousel that the Niners have. We can talk about it endlessly. We've been talking about Trey Lance for 2 years. He played 4 games, and now we're talking about him getting traded. Only on the Niners.